Good evening, good evening, good evening, my beautiful ones, my wise ones, and my melanated ones. Today is Tuesday, February the 18th, 2025, and yes, I am Wisdom Reborn. So I hope you had a good day today. Let me tell you, it's supposed to snow and rain and all that good stuff tomorrow, but today was beautiful. I got out and ran some errands and took a long walk, and today was a beautiful day. I hope you got you some fresh air, some grounding, an escape in nature. So as I was walking, I actually saw a crow. My grandson has this a deep love for birds, but especially blackbirds. He said blackbirds are the smartest birds ever. And he might be onto something. Anywho, as I was walking, I saw like 5 or 6 birds just flying around. They seemed to be in a generalized area, and they didn't go too far. And I stopped to walk around the parking lot. And when I stopped to walk around the parking lot, I noticed that one of the birds was sitting on the very top. This branch, or I guess it's a branch that this bird was sitting on. He sat on it was at the absolute very top. I posted it on my social medias. He was sitting at the very top, like on a twig, like it wasn't moving, like he was it was absolutely beautiful the way he perched there, the way he sat there. And as I stood there in awe, complete gratefulness for even being able to see such a beautiful thing, it just made me think of how when you change your position, you're able to look at things differently. How when you change your positioning, your view is different. Now, there were other birds throughout that same tree. Those birds did not have the same view that that bird had, which made me think that as we stroll along and live and maneuver in life, there will be times when we have to change our views. Not necessarily because what we're looking at, where we're looking, doesn't look good. Not necessarily because what we're doing doesn't feel good. But sometimes we need to reassess and change our view, change our position, so that our views can change, so that our thoughts can change, so that the way that we perceive things will change. Because if we keep looking at life at the same location, in the same peripheral, we will never be able to view it from different ways. And as we go through life, knowing that it is a cycle, something has to change. So if you're having difficulty noticing the things that are put forth to distract us in a world that is dedicated to keeping us distracted, if you're not noticing the distractions, then maybe you need to change your position so you can see things differently. If you're in relationships that no longer serve you, and you know they don't serve you any longer, you know that for this individual, all you're doing is giving, giving, giving. For a particular individual or a particular situation, every time you get in that situation, you feel drained, you feel frustrated, you feel aggravated, then maybe you should change your position on that particular situation, circumstances, person, or whatever it is, so that you can view it differently. We are living in a time where we would rather have what does not nourish us than to take some time to sit down and cook. I have never heard so many people say they don't have time to cook. And I'm just using that as an example. I've been cooking since I was 4 years old. At one point, I had 4 jobs, 2 children, and raising a 3rd child. And I found time to cook. And when I didn't have time to cook, guess what? I had them girls trained up to where they knew how to cook. I don't understand how we don't see the plan to keep us distracted, to keep us going in circles, not in cycles, but in circles. It's a difference between a cycle and a circle. A cycle has a beginning and an ending. A circle does not end. It is a constant moving in the same direction. My heart wants us to pay attention. Not pay attention just so that we can have talking points, but to pay attention so that we can think, so that we can move in accordance. So as I was watching that bird perched up high above everything else, I could only imagine what that bird could see. That bird could see everything, probably for miles. Thus the term bird's eye view. In order to have a bird's eye view, you got to try to get to the highest point. The highest point is your higher self. Your higher self is where you've taken an internal look within and determined that things have to change in order for you to go higher. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, because some of y'all want something biblical to go along with that. And I don't know exactly where it said, but I know sitting up in the churches that I sat up in, there was a song that says every round gets higher and higher. So the round is the cycle, and with every cycle, you should elevate. If you're not elevating and you're staying in the same place, elevation is not the associations that we gather. Elevation is not the material things that we incur. Elevation is the thing that takes you to a higher place in consciousness. And when I say consciousness, consciousness is being aware. Are you aware of the things that are going on around you? For a lot of people, I would say no. When my children were growing up, I always said I did not want to be an in-home absent parent. Because parents have kids who have guns, who sell drugs, who have boys in and out of the house, who do all sorts of things. And you live in the house with these people. And you don't know what's going on in your house. That makes you an in-home absent parent. Your child is going to school and you don't know what's going on at your child's school. That makes you an in-home absent parent. But then too, parenting nowadays has become a friendship type thing. I never wanted to be my children's friend when they were children. But now that they're adults, We have a different relationship that is more friendly. There is a time and a place for everything. And while they're young, we're supposed to be training them up. I don't know. I do know. I do know. It is all about the circles that keep us distracted. And today, February the 18th, 2025, it appears that the main goal of society is to keep us distracted. What are you paying attention to that matters? What are you investing your time in that takes you to a higher round? I wrote down some stuff here, and I can't even touch on it, because just thinking about that bird perched up high in that tree, being able to see what's coming and what's going. Because as the rounds get higher and higher and your consciousness evolves, you will be able to see what's coming and what's going. But if you stay wrapped up in the things that are set there to distract you, you will be blindsided every time. Every time. And that's hustling backwards. Wow. Wow. It is a time where it's winding down for when it's time to make a choice. And I'm not trying to change anyone's religious beliefs, but what I am trying to do is enlighten your spiritual beliefs. Because your spirituality is what's going to help you get to the next round. And if we're not paying attention, we'll get so, and I'm saying we because I've been there before, been there, done that. I don't have the t-shirt and the mug. I got the t-shirt, the mug, the coaster, the glass, the cap, the jacket, I've got it all. The thing that you put on the outside of your can, the book bag, the frisbee, the ink pen, the notepad. I got all of that. From being so heavenly bound that I'm no earthly good. Yeah. Wow. Wow. My ex-mother-in-law used to say that you can't be so heavenly bound that you're no earthly good. Wow. Wow. And the only way you can be earthly good is if you have looked within and you are moving stuff around within so that it shows without. We are living in a time in history where it is going to be wonderful. If we continue to allow every round to take us higher and higher. Because if we're not going higher and higher, we're staying in the same place. And as those of us that end up staying in the same place notice that everyone else is going higher and higher, at some point, you're going to notice that you're the lowest on the totem pole. And that's not a good place to be. on the bottom when we're supposed to be striving to move up. I thank the Most High for the level of wisdom that I have. It has not come easy. It has come through trials. Well, what I thought. No, it's come through trials and tribulations and crying and being brokenhearted and being connected to the wrong people and being connected to the wrong places and doing things in redundancy. And I am so glad for being able to change my positioning so I could change my views, and now I see so much better. I have to say thank you to every person that was placed in my life to make me go through the things that I went through, because y'all helped wake me up and make me into who I am. So thank you. You done your job and you done it damn good. Real good. Wow. Wow. I am so grateful. I get overwhelmed sometimes because I'm so grateful. If I internalized and never done anything with all of the situations and the circumstances and the people and the obstacles and the trials and the tribulations, I would probably be the meanest, most hateful person on the planet. Easily, I can see that happen. I can easily see that. But grace and mercy and the ability to understand the power that I have within, I decided to take those things that were meant for my bad, focus on what role I played in those situations, focus on what I can do not to have to deal with those situations again, forgive people, forget places, and change my positioning. And boy, oh boy, it feels good. It feels good. Now, I'm not going to keep y'all because my plan was just to hop on here for a minute or two and call it an evening. I want y'all to change your position so you can see things differently. Change your position so your views on things will change. Change your positioning so that the things that no longer serve you don't weigh you down. Those things will keep you from going higher and higher. On this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Tuesday, February the 18th, 2025. Those are just a few words for my beautiful ones, my wise ones, and my melanated ones. But especially for those nearest and dearest, and those are my beautiful, wise, and melanated ones. I wish you good sleep, good dreams, and thoughts of the truth.